just gonna, there we go. There we go. Now I can see what you're seeing actually. All right, you guys, here we go. So let's go ahead and begin. You're gonna start with your feet about, for those of you that are just joining us, welcome. It's Saturday morning. It is 10 after 9. Sorry for those of you that I'm showing up a little bit late for. We're doing the 5-day Revitalizing challenge. So we just did a little intro and a little meditation and a little intention setting. And so now everybody that's in that group is ready to flow with us. But now we're also inviting the other people to flow with us as well. So we're gonna go until about 10:30 my time, 10:35, which is I guess 1:30, 1:35 on the East Coast. So depending on where you are. And if you're in the group, by the way, and you can't do the whole thing, these will still live there. So you can always come back to it later. But let's go ahead and begin. Have your feet about shoulder distance. Bring your palms together, close your eyes. Start breathing in and out of the nose. Good, smooth, even breaths in and out of your nose. And we just set a big intention for a moment ago, but if you're just joining us now, you can set an intention. If you've been with us, then you can reaffirm your intention. Nice deep breath. Spread the toes, feel yourself grounded down on the floor. Drop the shoulders down, let the top of the head float up so your neck gets a little bit longer. And that intention is what you want it to be. So it could be releasing stress, could be healing, could be strengthening. Again, could be, just serving other people, bringing some love and joy and happiness to others, maybe healing anything that you need to heal. From here, drop your head down over to one side. Either side is fine. So we're going to do this my left side. It might look like my right for you, but it's really my left. So now I'm stretching this other side here. Breathe. Good. Switch sides. Same thing. Good. Drop the arms from there. A few head circles. One direction, just about 3 times. And then opposite direction. Good. Back to the center. Some shoulder rolls. Forward and back. Forward and back. Good. And then back and forward. Back and forward. Good. And then go ahead and take the arms up, interlace the fingertips, turn the palms up to the ceiling or sky if you're outside on this lovely, beautiful day here in sunny California. And stretch. So depending on you, you might not be able to straighten the arms if you got tighter shoulders, but you might be able to straighten them and bring them back by the ears. One thing I don't want you to do is puff this chest forward, this chest, or your own chest. So I want you to bring down these lower ribs, engage the abdomen slightly and bring them down. And then really isolate the shoulders if you can. Feel that there. So because if you're tighter, and that's as far as high as you can go, and then all of a sudden you go, oh wow, look, I can even get more vertical. But then you notice my ribs push forward and my back bends more, and that's not a deeper stretch in the shoulders. So think about isolating your body here and just stretch the shoulders for the moment and arms. Oh, good. And now fold over to one side, breathe. Good, one more breath. Good, and then switch sides, same thing. Good. And then back to the center. Lean back, take a nice big inhale. And then fold down forward as you exhale. Hang forward here and breathe. Hang forward and breathe. Good few breaths here when you're hanging forward. You can definitely start with the legs slightly bent. That would be fine. If your legs are tight, please definitely start with the legs bent. It'll be easier for your back and easier for your legs. Put a good smooth, even breaths in and out of the nose. Good, and then from here, clasp the hands back behind you, interlace the fingertips, stretch the shoulders. Do what you can. If you had a towel or a strap or something, that would be something you could do, you know, if you had a tripod bag. But basically it would look like that, right? So that's how it would look. You'll get a deeper stretch in there. So if you can't quite reach, or if you can clasp but you can't quite get a decent shoulder stretch, then if you just grab a strap or a towel, and that'll help you. A few more breaths here. Good. And then release the arms. You're going to engage the abdomen and slowly roll your way up. All the way up. We're going to do a few arm circles. One arm. A few circles here. And then switch it. You know, there is a process of waking up the body. When you wake up in the morning, typically you're kind of groggy and stiff, and right, and then you start. It's because you've been still side to side here. You've been basically laying flat. If you just spent all day, if you spent however long you sleep, 6, 7, 8 hours, 9 hours. If you just did that and you just laid on your couch for 6, 7, 8, 9 hours, you would wake up and you would be stiff. So it makes sense that you're a little bit stiff in the morning. But then as you start to move, blood moves through, lymph moves through your system. Bring the feet together, bring the palms together. Take a nice deep inhale, lift the arms up. Fold all the way forward down as you exhale. We're gonna do some half sun salutations, halfway up. So hands to the shins, look forward. Inhale, and then fold down as you exhale. And all the way up, nice big inhale. When you go up and down like this, there's a lot of up and down in yoga. Hands together at the heart. You can always bend the knees. Arms up again, inhale. Folding down forward as you exhale. Slight bend in the knees if you need it. Halfway up as you inhale. Fold as you exhale. All the way up, nice big inhale. Hands together at the heart. Exhale. Now we're going to step back. So arms up again, inhale. Fold down as you exhale. Extend that spine as you inhale, and then step back to plank pose as you exhale. Plank, hold here, breathe. Part of the yoga practice is linking the movement and the breath. So that's why I like to do sometimes a half sun salutation when there's some folks who might be newer or not familiar with yoga, because it's a great way to understand how you're linking the movement and the breath. So it's in a big inhale up, exhale down, that kind of thing. So from here, we're gonna link the movement and the breath and do a few push-ups. 5 times. You're gonna keep the elbows back. You can put the knees down if you need to, but go ahead and take a big inhale. Lower halfway, chaturanga on the exhale. Push back up. Inhale, lower again. Exhale, inhale, back up, exhale. Remember, these can be done with the knees down. Inhale, 2 more, exhale, inhale, exhale. 1 more. Good, and then drop the knees down. Cat and cow tilts for the spine. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. A few more times. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 1 more. Inhale and exhale. So if you had any back issues, lower back issues, that's a great thing to do on a medium regular basis. Lift the feet side to side next. Shoulder and hip come together one side, shoulder and hip come together on the other side. Shoulder and hip, Hi there. Shoulder and hip. Shoulder and hip. Whoa. Hi, buddy. How's it going? Hi. Are you so excited? Yeah. Yeah, there's everybody, right? You can wave. This is Liam, everybody. You can wave. That's right. Say hi. Yeah. We're doing yoga. I know, that's my camera. I'm downward facing dog from there, everybody. We're going to do downward facing dog, bud. What do you think? How's that? So downward facing dog, just as a review. Fingers spread, palms flat, breath smooth. Hi. Yeah. And your hands are shoulder distance. So you want to look at your hands, make sure there's space in between your fingers, and the index fingers are parallel to each other. So your index fingers, look at them for a moment. Hi. Yes, I know, there's all kinds of equipment, huh? And then bring your feet a little closer together and bend your left leg and push the right heel down. So you're stretching the hamstrings. Ultimately, your head is kind of right in between the arms there. So your ears are in between the arms. I'm not sure I'd go over there, Liam. He's just playing with something. That's my little guy. He's 15 months. I don't know how long. August, September, October, November. Yeah, he's about 15 months. In fact, in 2 days he'll be 15 months. Switch sides. So now you're stretching. So bending the left leg, pushing the right, or bending the right, pushing the left. Hi. Oh yeah, you can just leave that one there, okay? Let's not. Well, yeah, we won't play with that. You can just leave that there, okay? And then downward facing dog from there. So straighten both legs and then come up on the toes. Walk softly to your hands. Walk softly and then extend the spine. So hands at the shins, lengthen forward, inhale, and then fold down as you exhale. Bye, buddy. Arms up. Bye-bye. Hands together at the heart. Exhale. Sun Salutation A. So Sun Salutation A, arms up, nice big inhale. Fold down, forward, exhale. Over the course of the weekend, you're going to meet Liam, who you just met. You'll meet Madison if you haven't already. Step back and then lower all the way to the mat. So this is the easy version. Knees down, all the way to the mat. Gentle Cobra Pose. This is an easy way to do your vinyasa and then back to downward facing dog. And you'll meet my wife, Lauren, who, if you don't know already, she started a podcast called the Mom Feed Podcast, which is all about the transition into motherhood, and it's fantastic. So I'll make sure I plug her podcast and you guys follow her there. Especially anyone who has kids, it's really great. Up on the toes again, walk softly to the hands. Extend your spine as you inhale, look forward. Fold as you exhale, stretch. All the way up, nice big inhale. Remember, knees bent if you need to. It helps protect the spine. Hands together at the heart, exhale. Arms up again when you're ready, inhale. We do 2 more here. Fold down forward as you exhale. Extend the spine as you inhale. This time you could step back or you could jump. If you jump, you want to land with your arms slightly bent in chaturanga and you lower halfway down. Then roll over the toes. Come to upward facing dog. That's different than Cobra Pose. And if that's too much for you, then you do the one we did previously, downward facing dog. So you really have to, especially as we get into more advanced flow sequences, you want to make sure you modify and you understand how to modify as opposed to just going, I just can't do anything. Up on the toes, walk, or if you wanted to, hop forward, extend the spine as you inhale. Fold as you exhale, all the way up, nice big inhale. Hands to the heart, exhale. And again, if you can, linking the movement and the breath, arms up again, inhale, fold down, exhale. Extend that spine as you inhale, step or jump back as you exhale. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, or Cobra, that's the easier option, and then downward facing dog. Good, right from here, right leg up behind you, hold it, breathe. When you take the right leg up, I want you to sink that left heel down. So that sinking the left heel down gives you a little bit more stretch on the back of that left leg. Good, and then we're going to do some core strength right from here. Shoulders over the wrists, knee to the nose, abdomen strong. And then lift it back and up. Forward knee to your left side. A little twist and squeeze. Back and up. Forward up to the right side. Back and up. And then all the way forward to the hands. Pause here. I brought my blocks. If you had blocks, you could always use them. If you're tighter, you can straighten the leg and bend the knee. You don't need the blocks, just an option. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, bend the knee. Just a few times, a few more times. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. One more. Inhale and exhale. Left hand stays down, right arm turns up. So now is a little twist. Drive the back heel back, lengthen the torso, and twist and look up. So depending on you, you might be able to look right up at that top thumb, and it's directly above your head, and you might also be down here. So it doesn't matter. What matters is that you are aware and you're just pushing a little bit and breathing. Strong back leg as you twist. One more inhale, and then hands down, turn the back foot flat, warrior one. And there's a little note. So some of you I know are part of Tony Horton's Power Nation beta group, and I did a sequence in there. I was very clear about this back foot. So back here, sometimes I notice people step their foot forward and then they come up to kind of an easier warrior one. What I want you to do is from here, just turn the back foot flat. Don't step it forward. So that when you come up into warrior one, you're already in a good solid warrior one pose. Right? You don't have to adjust the feet because you already had them adjusted from your lunge. Warrior one, just as a review, back foot is forward. So if 12 o'clock was the forward, then you got 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So in warrior one, your back foot is grounded down and shoots out at about 10 o'clock. Torso forward, arms up for the moment. Sink that front leg down. Should feel like a little bit of a stretch in that left side hip, that front hip. You're trying to square the hips forward. And then clasp the hands back behind you, interlace the fingertips. Lift the heart up, shoulders back and down, drop the head back, take a big inhale. And then fold down forward as you exhale. Dropping the head down, stretch here. Breathe deep, don't let that back arch on the foot drop down. So you want to lift that back arch as you drop in and sink and stretch. One more breath. Good, and then back up. Warrior one, inhale. Hands down to the floor, exhale. Take the leg back. Vinyasa. So remember, you have three options. You lower all the way to the mat for an easier one. Cobra Pose, where you lower halfway and go to upward facing dog. Or you go halfway upward facing dog. Then you can also go back to Chaturanga for those of you that wanted that. All right, other side. From down dog, left leg up behind you. Hold it. Breathe. Extend. So part of the yoga practice in the physical part of it here is just extension and lengthen and kind of finding new areas. It's like a big exploration through your body, and it's never ending. So that leads us back to our chat earlier about uncertainty or the unknown. Lift that back leg up a little higher. One more inhale. And then shoulders over the wrist, knee to the nose, abdomen strong, core strength. Lift it back and up. Forward knee across to your right side, back and up. Forward up to your left, back and up. All the way forward. And then from here, straighten the front leg, flex the foot, bend the knee, drop the hips down. Inhale, straighten the leg, flex the foot. Exhale, bend the knee, drop the hips down. Keep that going. Inhale, exhale, a few more times. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Now we do our twist. Right hand stays down, left arm turns up. Twist and hold. Strong back leg. So if you can avoid dropping this knee out to the side, avoid dropping the knee out to the side. So the foot is flat, the knee right above the ankle. Drive the back leg back so you secure your legs and then twist. Isolate the spine and torso and then twist. So you can hug that inner thigh on the left side, pulls into the body as you twist. Good, one more nice big inhale. And both hands down. Turn the back foot flat, don't step it forward. And then warrior one. Warrior one, make sure that back foot is angled forward, 10 o'clock. If you needed to step it a little bit forward to go deeper here, that's fine. But don't step it forward and make this easier. Right? You wanna, if anything, you wanna see how you can go a little bit deeper. Torso forward, arms up, shoulders relaxed. There's a thought I wanted to share about the unknown. And, you know, this reminds me of my, you know, my crew. I did for my birthday, we did a moonlight hike. And the people who were on that hike, dear friends of mine, and I wish I could have invited all of you, but we're in the middle of a pandemic, so, you know, we have to keep our distance. Anyway, there's about 10 of us or 12 of us. Interlace the fingers back, lift the heart up, shoulders kind of pull back and down. Take a nice big inhale, lift up, and then fold down as you exhale. Drop the head and breathe. And all of those people on the hike have very much the same sort of philosophy about life as I have, which is that we want to just live the best life that we possibly can, you know, be healthy, stay active, help others, strong back leg, one more breath. And then back up, warrior one, inhale. And then hands down, take the leg back. By the way, you can skip the vinyasa if you want. So you could just skip it and go, yeah, I'm done with these vinyasa things. I don't know, I don't want them. Get them away from me. Otherwise, you can lower and then take upward facing dog and downward facing dog. But the point is that the, you know, one sort of main idea, this goes back to the exploration of the unknown. And the exploration of the unknown, just because we think that we're supposed to age a certain way doesn't mean we have to. Just because we hit a certain number. You know, I remember when I turned 30, people were like, oh, you're going to start noticing things about, you know, you're going to start noticing your body start to break down now. I was like, dude, I'm 30 years old. Are you kidding me? This is like, I'm just beginning. And the same thing at 40. Oh, 40, yeah, no, for sure. Come up on the toes, walk or hop forward. Extend the spine as you inhale, fold as you exhale. Chair pose, bend the knees, reach the arms, hold it. We do 30 seconds. But same thing, right? I mean, I have my cousin who is turning 88, I think, or 89 this year. Let's see, where are we? 2020. He was born in 1932, so that's 70, 80, 88 he turns this year. And he's like, oh, I didn't really notice anything until 50, right? So like always, there's like something, everybody's got something to say. Sink down a little bit lower and then stand. And all I'm saying is decide what your plan is yourself. Just because there are these, you know, these beliefs that seem like societal beliefs and people just go along with, doesn't mean it has to be the case. We're going to go through Sun Salutation B. So chair pose, inhale. Fold down, exhale. Halfway up as you inhale. Step back or hop back. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Or cobra if you're doing the easier version. Down dog. Right side first. Take the leg up. Bring it forward. Warrior one. Reach up. Inhale. Stretch. Hands down. Leg back. Vinyasa lower. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side. Take it up. Bring it forward. Warrior one, reach up, inhale. Hands down, leg back, vinyasa, lower. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog, and hold. So that's the thing. You know, my dad, God rest his soul, when he was my age, he looked a lot different. And I remember when I turned 40, I thought the same thing. One more breath here. Coming up on the toes, walk or hop forward. Extend that spine as you inhale, fold as you exhale. Chair pose from there, inhale. Stand as you exhale. I remember thinking, this isn't what I thought 40 was supposed to be like, in a good way, meaning like, wow, I feel great. And I thought 40 was supposed to be kind of getting older and kind of starting to go downhill. And that just wasn't the case. So I thought, okay, well, I need to shift my mindset, and I need to understand that I'm the one who decides. It's me, it's my actions and my beliefs and my thoughts and my daily practices that dictate essentially the kind of life that I'm going to have. Chair pose, inhale. Fold down, exhale. Halfway up, inhale. Step or hop back. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Just like before. We're going to do a few of these. Right leg up. Bring it forward. Warrior one. Reach up. Inhale. Hands down. Leg back. Vinyasa, lower. Remember, you can always skip the vinyasa. If you're newer to this, then always feel free to skip it. Left leg up. Bring it forward. Warrior one. Reach up. Inhale. Hands down. Leg back. Vinyasa, lower. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Hold it and breathe. So that's one thing that I would implore you to do, is spend some time outside the box in your mind, because, and this is the thing about goal setting too, I'm a big proponent of goal setting, and I'm a big proponent of trusting in the unknown, in the universe. Up on the toes, walk or lightly hop forward. Extend the spine as you inhale. So fold as you exhale. Chair pose from there, inhale. Stand up, hands together at the heart. Exhale. Nice big full breath. Let's do one more and then we'll go into some other stuff. So one more, Sun Salutation B. Chair pose, inhale. Fold as you exhale. Extend the spine, inhale. Step or jump back, exhale. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And if you wanted to throw in an extra chaturanga, you can anytime. Right leg up and bring it forward. Warrior one, reach up, inhale. Hands down to the floor. Leg back. Vinyasa or not. Stronger one, extra chaturanga if you want. Left side, take it up. Bring it forward. Back foot turns. Warrior one. Reach up and stretch. Hands down. Leg back. Lower. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Hold it there and breathe. Reset each time. So fingers spread, palms flat, extend the shoulders, lift the tailbone, press the thighs back. Don't worry so much about the heels. I want you to get to a stretch in the legs first, and I want you to do that by extending the hips up, lifting the tailbone up, pushing the thighs back. Then you can start to press the heels down. One more breath. Good. And then up on the toes when you're ready. Walk or hop forward. Extend that spine as you inhale. Fold as you exhale. Chair pose. And then we're going to twist right from here. So bring your palms together. Hook your left elbow outside the right knee. Lengthen the upper body up as you turn and twist up. And breathe. Hey. Yeah, we're doing yoga back here. It's a little girl. Down chair pose, and then other side. We have, in this little neighborhood that we have here, we have a great little community of little kids. So my kids are 4.5 and 15 months, and they're, you know, it's a whole bunch of kids back here, and it's kind of our little quarantine crew. 2 more breaths, and a twist, and then back to chair. Inhale, and stand, hands together at the heart. Exhale. In fact, I'll probably broadcast from the park right across the street at some point, so you can get a feel of my front yard. Okay, so we're going to do a little standing balance next. We're going to start in tree. We're going to start, so this is a combination, so those of you that have been doing this with me for a while, you know, we're going to combine this with tree, with this and this, okay? So what we're going to do is tree pose first, and then we're going to grab the toe forward, out to the side, back forward, and then back down here into this. All right, so it's a little tricky. If any of the more advanced variations are too much for you, then don't worry about it. Just stick with tree pose. I'm going to set the timer so that we're equal time on each side. Ready, set, go. I usually start on my left leg. Ready, begin. So go ahead and pull tree pose first. So tree pose here. And then crack that knee. Good. So tree pose, the main idea behind tree pose is you're standing, you're balancing. You don't want to be pushing into the knee, so above the knee or below the knee. If balance is way off, then below the knee, but above the knee is fine. And then a couple main things. Steady gaze, so pick one point, preferably that's not moving. Then you pick one point and you hold that focus. In yoga, there's a concept called drishti, D-R-I-S-H-T-I, drishti, and that's the gaze, but it's a specific kind of gaze. It's an empty gaze, they call it. So you're kind of focused on one spot, but you're really focusing on the space between the spot, the physical spot that your eyes are focused on, and the nothing really in the middle. So it's kind of a, you know, there's a meditation where your lids are half closed or half open, depending on, I guess, how you want to look at it. And then you find a good, smooth, even breath. So now what we're going to do is take the arms up, a couple breaths. Steady gaze, steady breath. Good. Then left hand grabs the left hip, right hand grabs the big toe, straighten it forward. And you may not be able to straighten it. It's fine. I can't straighten it all the time either. You just do the best you can. Hey guys. And then from here, what you're going to do is take the leg out to the side. So you take the leg out to the side a little bit, and again, totally fine. I have tight hamstrings, so harder for me to straighten that leg, but that's fine. It's more about the balance, really. It's more about standing balance, steady focus, steady breath. Now come back to the center, and what we're going to do is let's just do a little strengthening here. So that arms up, lift that leg. This is hard for most people. Breathing deeply. A couple more breaths. Use your abdomen. One more inhale. And then you're going to bend that leg, bring the ankle to your knee. Just kind of bend the standing leg a little bit. Flex the foot. Bring the palms together and sit down and sit and pull the hips back. So you start to stretch this back hip in there. Oh, yes. A couple more breaths. Whoa. Good. And then slowly stand. So that was almost 3 minutes on this leg. That's a long time on one leg. Shake it out for a moment. Let's see if we can match that. So other side, starting in tree pose. Ready, begin. So bring this leg up here. And again, any little You know, I got these knee clicks, right? If you've heard my knee, everybody knows my knee saga. By the way, I never had knee issues at all my entire life. I had some left leg issues because, long story, but I jumped off a truck when I was a kid, and it moved my pelvis. I landed on my hip and my knee and my elbow, so it moved my pelvis. So any kind of issues that would always happen would be on the left side. But they went away. They were never really in the knee. And then recently I just had this knee issue, and it's not because I turned 50. People are like, oh, yeah, it's because you're 50 now. No, it's not. It's because I had just run. It was super hot. My body was kind of inflamed a bit, and I bent down. And I bent down too quickly, so I strained the knee a little bit. Go ahead now and take the arms up. A few breaths. Steady gaze, but it's better now. Now it just clicks, but that's fine. I'm okay with a little clicking. Whoa! So if you're off balance, don't worry. We're all off balance at some point. Eric Schiffman, who's a great yoga teacher, one of my yoga teachers way back in the day, he goes, trees sway, which is true. So if you find yourself swaying, you know, you might find yourself in the middle of a hurricane, but that's okay. Come back to the breath now. We're going to bring that right hand to the hip. Left hand's going to grab the big toe and then take it forward. So again, forward. And it doesn't have to straighten, right? It's not about straightening. It's just about shifting it, doing a little bit more advanced variation if it works. If it doesn't work, it's okay too. Now out to the side with that. Breathe. Whoa. Good. And then back to the center. Go ahead and drive that leg straight. So much about lifting this leg is A, hamstring flexibility, but also strength in that leg. So see if you can reach the arms up and lift that leg up a little bit taller. Don't lean back though. Leaning back makes it a lot easier. Don't lean back. Lean forward, not forward, or at least straight up, but then lift the leg. One more inhale. And now bend the knee, ankle to the knee, flex the foot, bring the palms together. Oh, my right foot is kind of burning a little bit. Calf, low calf. Pull the hips back a little bit. Breathe deep. Hopefully no big gusts of wind come to knock you over. One more breath, arms up. Sink into that stretch. And then slowly release, shake out that standing leg. Very nice. So we're going to move into the same thing, kind of pick up where we left off there. Back to the first side. We're going to do this. We're going to offer up the arm balance. Just as a quick demonstration, the arm balance, basically, you don't have to do the arm balance. You could just do the stretch, which we'll all do on each side. Some of you I know like to work on their arm balances. So it looks like this. So you're flexing the feet, coming in, right tricep goes to the right knee, left tricep goes to your ankle, but really onto your toes. Then you lean forward, balance, and then pick that back leg up. So obviously that's a more advanced move. You don't have to do that, but that's what we're going to do now. Or you're just going to go back in. So let's all start on the left leg. Hook your right ankle, bring the palms together, sit back. And this is it. This is enough. Only the people who feel like they want to go to the arm balance. You can go forward. You could go deeper into the stretch without doing the arm balance. Here, if you want the arm balance, again, you're setting up your shelf with your hands and then leaning forward. And then if you can, you're bringing that leg back. But again, that's up to you. Otherwise, you're right here. A few more breaths. Stretching the hip. And then slowly stand. Hands together at the heart. Take a nice big full breath. Good. Same thing other side. So now standing on the right, hook your left ankle on top, flex the foot. Go ahead and bring the palms together. Sit back. I don't know if any of you were here yesterday, but I I was feeling tighter on my left hip for some reason. It was strange. Arms up. And then lower. And if you're doing the arm balance, go for it. You're on your own. Reach the arms forward. Pull the tailbone back. Stretch. Hold and breathe. Good. And then slowly, arm balance or not, come on back up. Bring the palms together. Shake out the legs. Take a nice deep breath. So in our group, you know, the main focus, one of the main focuses is it's a revitalizing challenge, but it's also reducing stress. Like one of the main focuses for us is reducing stress. And when you come out of an experience like that, so it's really intense, you're holding, you come out, take a big breath, and you can feel the energy that runs through your body. And part of this whole yoga practice is so powerful because moving the way that we do allows you to break up some of that tension, some of that stress, some of that tightness. And then, you know, when you breathe, in the end, we do Shavasana, which kind of allows us to assimilate all that experience. So you're going through this incredible, subtle process at the same time we're going through all these wacky movements. Stand at the front of your mat, bring the palms together, take a nice big inhale, lift the arms up. Fold all the way down forward as you exhale. Like it works, whether you believe it works or not. Halfway up, and then step back or jump back. Vinyasa, lower down, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. We're gonna move into a little standing sequence here. Right leg up behind you. Bring it all the way forward to the hands. Turn the back foot flat. Come to warrior one, and then push the front leg straight. Hands to the waist. Step the back foot closer. That's a big move. Oftentimes, it's a tricky one for people. So from warrior one, push the front leg straight, hands to the waist, step the back foot closer, angle it forward. So now my hips are facing forward easily. Then from here, and now my back foot is kind of on 11 o'clock angle. From here, you got three options. You could either interlace the fingers behind you. If you're more flexible, you can grab the elbows like this. If you're even more flexible, you can bring the palms together and then flip them right side up. If that's science fiction or you feel like you're gonna break your wrist or forearm, then please don't do it. From here, lift up nice and tall, take a big inhale, and then fold down forward as you exhale. So this is a hamstring stretch, front of the leg. Spread the toes, lift those toes up. Breathe deep. One more breath. Now, if you can, keep the arm variation. Whatever it is for you, come halfway up and then step up into warrior three. Now, once you're up, so I just want you to keep the arm variation for the transition, but once you're up, you can release the arms. They can be back behind you, they can be out to the side. If you're feeling stronger, they can be forward. If you got tight shoulders and you bring them forward, it's gonna be harder. But do the best you can here. Breathe. This is warrior three or Virabhadrasana 3. A few breaths. Good. Now, arms out to the side, half moon. So you're going to lift that left hip up. And if you had a block, you could use it. You don't need a block. So if you had to bend your standing leg, that's fine too. Left arm goes up. If you can, straighten the standing leg. Stack the hips on top of one another. And if your balance is okay, then I want you to turn your head up, look up at that top thumb, and breathe. And again, if you're falling all over the place, it's totally fine. You want to feel for you, what level of the pose works. And relax the face and the jaw and breathe and stretch the hips. Whoa. Good. Now look down from here, bend the standing leg. This is a tricky transition. Come back to warrior three if you can. And then left hand down, right arm up. This is reverse half moon. Lengthen up, breathe deep, twist and turn. If you ever needed to take a break, you always are welcome to take a break. But lift it, twist it, and breathe deep. One more inhale. We're gonna do seated twist. So now bend both knees on your exhale, hands down, bring your left knee outside your right foot, and then sit down like that. Take a breath. 2 stops in the train here. What you're gonna do is sit up nice and tall, hug this leg in, so you just give your knee a big hug. I want you to feel a stretch here on this outer hip, right? So you can just kind of hug the leg in. Now, what I'm gonna do is, notice you might wanna round. I don't want you to round, I want you to sit up tall. As you sit up tall, if your hip is tight, the knee is gonna push forward. So you gotta pull the knee into the chest and then pull this hip down and back and away and breathe. Good. That is kind of the piriformis, which is underneath the glute. If you have ever had sciatica, this is one of the first things you want to stretch. If you start to feel, I might start to get sciatica, then this is a muscle you want to stretch. Now, second stop on our train, lean back. Now we go to the full twist. Left arm up, hook it across, sit up tall and turn back and breathe. One more breath. Good. And now counter twist. So I guess 3 stops on the train. So come on back the other way. Legs stay the same, but a little counter twist. Oh yeah. Lengthen the torso, twist. Good. And then back to the center. Uncross the legs. We're going to do Navasana or boat pose. Sit up on, balance off your butt cheeks, lean back, and take the legs up. Breathe. You could straighten the legs if you wanted. We do 30 seconds here. Breathe. And just a reminder, this is on the kind of level 2, 3 side, right? Throwing in some more advanced stuff. If you're not a regular yoga person and this is more advanced, just keep taking breaks when you need to. Do the best you can. Come out of the pose early. One more nice big inhale. Lift up and then cross the legs. This is a more advanced pose, by the way. Set the hands and jump back. Here's the little cheat. So you have a little momentum so you can kind of rock yourself. And then lift and jump. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. We go through that in some of our workshops, how to do that. But downward facing dog, take a moment, bend the left leg, push the right heel down, stretch it. Nice big stretch. Good. And then left side, same thing, other side, left leg up. Bring it forward, turn the back foot flat. Warrior 1. From Warrior 1, push the front leg straight, hands to the waist. Step the back foot closer, angle it forward. So now, if 12 o'clock was forward, then you want your foot at about 1, between 1 and 2. And from here, 3 arm options. You had 3 arm variations. You could just interlace the fingers back. You could grab the elbows, or you could bring the palms together and reverse namaste. And in the beginning, by the way, in the beginning of my yoga practice, I could not do this. Totally, I felt like I was going to break my wrists. I thought, for sure my fingers were going to break or my wrists were going to break. And now it's, I can do it. I can push my palms together, and it's not a thing. So, but I never would have been able to tell you that this is what I would be able to do now. So just trust. The point is trust that even if you don't think you might be able to get somewhere, you still might be able to get there. Lift the upper body up and fold down. Stretching the hamstrings, breathing. The mind is really powerful. And then just because you don't see the end, and then the mind starts going, well, that goal that you set for yourself is just, you can't really see the path there, so it's just not going to happen, right? And what I'm saying is just trust that the universe is on your side. It's on your side, and if you're supposed to have flexible hamstrings, you will have flexible hamstrings. A few more breaths. You just have to keep, you know, heading in that direction. That's all. One more breath. Good. Back up from here. And then with the arms back behind you, start to step up. And then release. Oh my goodness. And then drive. It's still hard, by the way. It doesn't make it, it's not all of a sudden like, oh, everything just got easy in a day. No, it's still challenging. Lift the upper body, arms out to the side or back or forward if you wanted. A few breaths. Good. Arms out to the side from there. Open up that hip. So that's a big deal to be able to get that hip open, to be able to control the hip. So closing it down, opening it. We're not going to do that. But then hand down, block or not, bent leg or straight, and then right arm goes up. If your balance is feeling super good today, you slowly turn it up and look up at that top thumb. Sometimes that works for me, sometimes it doesn't. But breathe. Going back to the theme of acceptance. Accept, huge theme. Push through that back leg, lift up and breathe deep. Good, now we're gonna do our tricky transition. Whoa, if you don't crash in the middle, look down, come back up, warrior three. And then right hand down, oh, left arm up. So lift that back leg and twist and turn. Drive the back leg straight, lift the back leg higher, lengthen the upper body, twist. There's a fundamental in yoga called straight lines. You want to think about straight lines. So standing leg straight, back leg parallel to the floor, arms form a straight line, spine forms a straight line. One more inhale, and then bend the knees. Right knee outside your left foot this time. And then we had 3 stages. I always thought it was 2, but it's really 3 stages on this little sequence. So first hug the leg, sit up nice and tall. Oh man, I don't know what happened to me. Thursday I went for a run, I don't know, 5 or 6 miles. Not a big deal. I was not going very fast. But for whatever reason, I don't know, could have been a different workout I did maybe on Wednesday. But for whatever reason, my left, right in here, my left piriformis just was more sore than the right, like noticeably more sore than the right for some strange reason. One more breath. Still, some of the effects of that are still in there. Now lean back, take the right arm up, hook it across, sit up nice and tall, turn and twist. One more breath. Good. And then uncross, or not uncrossed yet, but go the opposite direction. So sit up nice and tall, turn and twist and breathe. Good. Uncross the legs from there. And now back to Navasana, slightly different variation. You're gonna lift up, excuse me, and then bring the palms together, turn to the right, 15 seconds. Hold it. Legs can be bent or straight, either way. Breathe. Good, and then switch sides, same thing. Good, and then back to the center. One more inhale, lift up a little taller, and then cross the legs. Here it is again. So if you're working on it, it's so much about the core and your arms and your upper back. So you set the hands and then lean, and what you can do right here, see, this is still, I'm not even really leaning on my hands that much, but now once I lean forward and lift these legs off the floor, then that's all arms, right? That's all arms, core, shoulders, back. To be able to hold your body like that is challenging, to say the least. Go ahead now and bend your right leg, push the left heel down. It didn't happen right away, I'll tell you that much. In the beginning of my yoga practice, when I started, and Jasmine, who is here with us, remembers 20 years ago, Jasmine, more than 20 years ago. It's crazy. But I would be in down dog sweating and dripping and like barely able to hold myself up in downward facing dog. It was not a fun experience back then. I mean, it was challenging. Straighten both legs. Go ahead now and drop to the knees. From there, we're going to move into a little core, a little low plank. But yeah, just downward facing dog was so hard. So I understand now, you know, why some of this stuff might look easy. It did not start that way, that's for sure. Low plank we're gonna do, and we'll do 90 seconds. So 90 seconds is a long time. If you had a block, just grab your block and you put your palms flat. So it kind of looks like that, right? You can see that. That's gonna help you keep once your block is down, I want you to bring your elbows closer together. If you don't have the block, it doesn't matter. You don't need it. You can interlace your fingertips, that's fine. You could also put your palms flat there. It's nice if you had the block as a kind of a set point for your hands. Then tuck the toes. Wait, let me set my timer. We're gonna do 90 seconds. I'm gonna throw in a few variations, and you do what you can. Ready, set, go. So tuck the toes, straighten the legs back, drop the hips. It's probably one of the best core exercises you can do, best and healthiest. So 3 main things besides your breathing. Good, smooth, even breaths. Well, a disclaimer, if it starts to get too much and your hips start to drop and you feel like it's hurting your lower back, you have 2 options. One is lift the hips higher into dolphin, which we're all gonna do, or just drop to the knees. That would be fine. Otherwise, you want your abdomen really strong, upper back and shoulders strong, and thighs strong. So there's 3 main muscle groups that help. If you're comfortable and you want to do some mountain climbers, now's the time. Let's do that. 3, 4, we'll do 30, 6, 8, 9, 10. Holding it is enough. 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Hold it. You got 15 seconds. Hold and breathe. Abdomen strong, as flat as a board as you can, from the shoulders through the heels. 5 more seconds. We're all going to go to dolphin in 3, 2, 1. Lift the hips up. Walk the feet closer. Push the shoulders back. Push them back. Get that, all that tightness in the upper back and the shoulders. Rotator cuff, lats. Push into it. So you're pushing the hands away from you. 1 more. Good. And then look at the hands if you can. Downward facing dog. I don't know if Jim is out there. My friend and client Jim had a hard time doing that yesterday. Go ahead, downward facing dog. Take a moment. Bend the left leg, push the right heel down, stretch. And then switch sides and stretch. All right, and then come down to the knees. So I don't know if Jim's out there, but he's so great. He's a client of mine and a friend, and you know, we search for, this guy is, let's just say, not quite a quarter century older than I am. And he is amazing. Surfer, super great guy, incredibly talented artist, and an incredible yogi for his time on this planet, his knowledge and wisdom. And he's doing arm balances, he's doing all kinds of stuff, and it's fun because we we basically try to systematically find, or I try to systematically find places where he needs a little work. And he's always game for it, which is great. Okay, so now on the knees, we're going to do Ustrasana. We're going to do half. Camel Pose, Ustrasana. And I keep throwing out these Sanskrit names. It's just part of my habit, but don't worry about it. It's Camel Pose. So toes tucked here. I always start that way. It's a safer way to start. If you have any back stuff at all, by leaning back and going into kind of a bigger back bend, it can be really dangerous. I don't want anyone to be hurt. So I always start with a little half camel pose. So right hand to the heel, left arm goes up nice and tall. There you go. So that most people can do. Once you can do that, you lift up a little bit taller and then maybe start to lean back some, driving the hips forward as you drop the head back and breathe. One more breath. And then slowly, abdomen strong, always, 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 abdomen strong, slowly come out. Your back is not meant to carry your whole upper body. You have small back muscles here on either side of the spine. They're called erector spinae muscles. They are not meant to hold your whole upper body. Your abs and your back together are meant to kind of move your body around. So that's important, or that's very, very important. Left hand on the heel, right arm up. Lift up nice and tall, and then start to lean back. And for some people, they can't even get back to one side on the heel. If that's you, then hands to the waist, lift the upper body up, just kind of lean back a little bit. That's a nice, gentle, easy back bend, a version of Camel Pose, Ustrasana. If you're more flexible, you're bending back here, breathing deeply. Good, slowly come out, abdomen strong. Yeah. Let's go right onto the back. We're going to do a few back bends this way. So first, let me just move this out of the way. Yesterday, sadly, I had my stream going and I totally, it's like I totally hit the wrong button and it stopped the stream. Engage the abdomen, lift the hips up, clasp the hands underneath you, wiggle the shoulders underneath you, push the hips up. Breathe, back to your breathing, always. Good, one more breath. And slowly come on down. Pause for a moment. So you can do that same exact variation of a back bend. We're going to do two more. I'm going to go up to a full wheel, which might even look like a, a mangled wheel. But I'm going to go to the full wheel. If you feel safe enough to do that, please feel free. It can be more intense. You're going to come up on the toes. Otherwise, now don't come up on the toes. Lift back behind you. And then drop your head and then push the arms up straight and breathe. One more breath. And slowly, slowly come on down. Pause. So whether you did the full wheel or not, doesn't matter. Just come down, pause for a moment. Remind me to tell you about hormesis. We're doing hormesis right now. This is a hormetic experience. Lift the hips up. Again, maybe this is you. Maybe you want to go to the full back bend. Go ahead and come on up. Second time, usually a little easier. One more breath. Slowly, slowly come on down and pull the knees in this time. Pull the knees in, circles on the lower back. Just gonna pull this Pack out here. Circles on the lower back. Massaging here. Hormesis is a, thank you for reminding me, is a, I can feel you guys reminding me. It's basically you're stressing the cells in your body, and exercise is a healthy way to stretch your cells. Yoga, similar. Now, happy baby pose. Grab the outsides of the feet, bring the tailbone down, stretch and breathe. Here, there's a concept in yoga called opposing action. Here's where you can illustrate this really well. Sometimes if you're tighter, you're gonna pick the feet up and your butt is gonna come up because your legs are tighter. I want you to bring your tailbone and butt down to the floor. And then that's one action, and then the opposing action is pulling against that. So tailbone down, and then pull the feet down. Oh, that should get you a deeper stretch. Right, and that's a little bit of a stressor, and then release it. Right? So you essentially train, roll forward and back, forward and back. By putting your body through a stress, you cause your cells and muscles and, you know, even your mind, one more, to bounce back from there, right? Soles of the feet together, knees wide here. So that's what exercise is all about. It's about creating this state of regeneration in a way. And that's, I remember hearing that, I think it might have been Brendan Brazier actually, the guy who created Vega, who's a friend of ours, and he was like, yeah, when your body is sore on a regular basis, you're in a state of growth on a regular basis, a state of regeneration. And that's a good place to be. That's what happens when you're growing. Think about a kid who's growing. They're basically stem cells walking around, right? And then we hit a certain point and we're like, oh my God, we're decrepit. Well, we're not decrepit if we take the actions that cause a similar kind of experience. So we just have to kind of jumpstart that. And that's part of what we're doing. Revitalizing, right? Sinking in, breathing deep, stretching. A few more breaths. Good, and I do want to do a little bit of a frog pose. And so we're gonna come out and turn to the side here. Frog pose, your knees. This is a deep, deep hip stretch, but the knees go super wide. You come down on the elbows and then push the hips back. Ay, 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 ay. That is a big hip stretch. Not long, just about a minute or two. And then I'm just gonna, you can stay there for a moment. I'm just gonna move these guys this way a little bit. I can see a bit better. Let's go another minute here. So the knees are wide, the feet are apart, and you're kind of pushing back here. Groin, but I know I'm grimacing, but technically you don't want to do that. So relax the fingers, relax the shoulders, relax the jaw, relax the face, and press back gently into your hips. Good. A few more breaths. Good. And then slowly you can come out of there. So forward first is the easy way out, and then straighten the legs one at a time and make your way back to child's pose for a moment. Child's pose. Good. From child's pose, we're going to move to pigeon. So you could go down dog for a moment. Just stretch the legs one last time here. Left leg bends, right leg pushes down. And that concept of opposing action with the heel down, the sit bone up, I want you to feel that so you can get a deeper stretch. And all you got to do is tilt the tailbone up a little higher at the same time you push the heel down. And then switch legs. So again, initially you just kind of push the heel down and go, oh yeah, that's a big stretch. But you can make it a better stretch by tilting, just ever so slightly, tilting the tailbone up. So like stick your butt up and then drop the heel down and extend the shoulders. And that all gets you a little bit deeper. Deeper into the unknown. Good. All right, now pigeon. So you're gonna step the right leg forward, pigeon pose like this here, right in here, oh, like that. So the alternative to pigeon, oh, I got low power mode on that phone. Alternative to pigeon is reclining pigeon. This is reclining pigeon, just in case, ankle to the knee, grab the foot. So this is for you if you had knee issues or a regular pigeon just isn't working, if there's any kind of pain or anything like that. Please make sure you make the proper adjustments. We're going to be here for, say, 90 seconds to 2 minutes. Set my timer. I know you guys have, some of you have already been in there for 15 seconds, so we'll start there. Just a quick reminder for our regular streamers, these classes are done on a donation basis. So if you have the financial ability, then your paid class would be greatly appreciated. You can Venmo me directly at Teddy McDonald. You go to 5pointyoga.com, you can pay for your class. There's a little link for a suggested online donation. And then of course we have memberships now as we've transitioned, kind of in the middle of transitioning and offering a virtual studio. And that happens all at consciousendurance.com. So all that is greatly appreciated and helps keep our mission of staying healthy for an active, healthy 100+ years alive. And if you're just streaming and don't know about the 5-day Revitalizing Challenge, it is a free experience, and there's 250 people that are a part of the group right now that I know about. And I'm going live twice a day, and it's all about reducing stress, building strength, increasing stamina, and deepening serenity. So you're welcome to join that as well. And that is almost time to switch legs. A few more breaths. Good. And now switch it. Same thing, other side. For those of you in the 5-day group, the Revitalizing group, and you didn't know what I have been doing since the pandemic. So switch sides, and again, each side may be different. So you have to, maybe you're in reclining pigeon on one side, but not the other. It's fine, just accept what's going on and breathe through it. But just to, what I was gonna say is, if you didn't know this, I've been streaming yoga classes pretty much 6 days a week since my yoga studio got shut down in Malibu back in March. So it was mid-March of 2020, which feels like 900 years ago. They shut us down, and I happened to know how to stream and had the right equipment and started streaming. And I really felt like if there was, one thing that I knew how to do well, it was to help people move through stress and through movement and meditation and yoga, and there's lots of different ways to do that. And I just felt like it was really important to give people an opportunity, because so many people that I know lost their jobs. Now jobs we know are not even coming back. Some of them, had all kinds of different things happen to them. And I just felt like it was time that we needed to pool our resources. Felt like that was something that I wanted to do. And at first I thought, Well, let me just see, should I do 300 classes? And I thought, no, that's like every day, every 5 days, 6 days for a year. I can't commit to that. I thought, let me get to 100. And I got to 100. And by the time I got to 100, I thought, I love this. I'm gonna keep doing it. And so now we're on our way to 1,000 classes. That's my next big goal. And so far today is class number 208. So I appreciate you being part of it. And our first official 5-day challenge. Come on up from there. And we don't know, who knows how many of these we'll have. Come on up, straighten the legs there, shake them out for a second, flex the feet, reach the arms up, and fold forward. Easy forward bend here. Drop the head down and relax. Just make sure you don't have to pull. This is, you don't have to pull in. This is totally fine to just relax here and breathe. And now what we're going to do is we're going to roll back and roll up and go into plow and shoulder stand. That could be an issue on your neck. Traditionally, when I learned how to teach yoga and practice yoga, we had blankets, and you'd put blankets behind you. The blankets would elevate your shoulders a bit, your neck to drop off the backside of the shoulder, which would be safer for your neck because of, you know, crowded yoga studios, and, you know, some people would do it consistently. The Iyengar practice, they would totally do it all the time. You can't do shoulder stand without it. But a lot of people are just kind of like, whatever, as long as you're okay. So now I say, whatever, as long as you're okay. But I don't want you to go back and do this if it hurts. So your alternative is here. If you have any upper back stuff, any neck stuff, anything like that, please do not go back. Just stay in the forward bend, that's fine. But if you feel okay, you can take the legs up and back and over your head for plow pose. And plow pose, just for specifics, ultimately is with your legs straight. Right? You kind of wiggle the shoulders up and then support the back, take the legs up, shoulder stand. And we'll hold here for a little while. I want you to start to feel gravity if you're up. If you're up here, I want you to start to feel the force of gravity. You could just kind of lift the legs slightly, so go against gravity with the legs, but ultimately I want you to relax and just feel the process of gravity. Speaking of Iyengar, so he created a whole form of yoga, and one of the guys who kind of created a whole form of our modern yoga that we know, and he called the king of all poses headstand, and the queen of all poses shoulder stand. He said, if you had 2 minutes to do anything, headstand should be what you do. Go ahead now, take the legs wide, flex the feet, breathe, slight engage in the belly. Bend the knees, soles of the feet together. Legs back up from there, and then down over the head. This time you bend the knees. Try to get the knees around your ears. Again, only if your back is okay, if your neck is okay. This is Karna Pidasana, slightly different than plow. And then slowly come down. When you come down, you got to use your abs to come down slow, and they control your descent here. And then we're going to take a final twist. Pull your right knee into the chest, give it a big squeeze in, and then roll to the other side. And if you're part of our group, you can stay for a moment after Shavasana. We're going to do a full 5-minute Shavasana, and then we'll say goodbye to the people who are streaming, but then I'll just give you guys a little quick announcement in the group if you're still there with us. Now go ahead and switch sides. Same thing. Oh, yeah. Good. One more breath. And the twist. Good. And then back to the center. Shavasana, final rest. And we'll take a full 5 minutes. So this is a nice way to end your practice. Feet flop open. Arms down by the side, eyes closed, shoulders away from the ears. Take a big, big inhale. And exhale. Totally, totally relax here. can go ahead and bring your left hand to your heart center, right hand to your belly. And just pause for a moment. And we do that because putting a hand on your heart is nurturing, putting a hand on your belly is grounding. So we just give ourselves a little nurturing and a little grounding, just for a moment. And then from here, go ahead and bend the knees, roll to your right side. Just take a moment, roll to the right, pause. And then back up to a seat, comfortable seated position here. Good, sitting up nice and tall. We'll do our final meditation here to close. So just a short moment here. So sit up nice and tall. Again, three main fundamentals for meditation: a straight spine, even breath, and a single pointed focus. And traditionally, you would want to focus on your third eye center, right? But you don't have to. It could be the beach, could be the top of a mountain, could be the swing you had when you were a kid, just some place that's pleasant for you. As you sit up tall, relax the body, breathe, and just bring your mind to that one focal point that you choose. Inevitably, you will be distracted by my voice, the airplanes, little kids, dogs, all kinds of different things. Your own thinking can distract you from the moment. Sensations, like it's a plethora of different things. And the idea is not to fight the distraction. The idea is to accept the distraction for what it is. Oh, there's another thought. That's okay. I'm back to my focal point. Oh, wait, nope, took me away. Oh, wait, nope, back to the focal point. Breathe. Right? That's a lot. It's a lot to do because the mind is so chatty. We think about 50 to 70,000 thoughts a day. So it's challenging to be able to calm the mind, but we calm the breath, we move the body, and then the mind slowly starts to catch up, we hope. Couple more breaths. At least we begin to understand our thought patterns and how they work. And we get to understand that we can live from a deeper place than just our silly brain that's in our head. Bring the palms together at the heart. Take a moment of gratitude. Gratitude for every breath. Namaste. Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're in the group, stay right where you are. Those of you that were streaming and joined us, thank you so much. There's still time to join us in the group if you'd like. And again, stay safe, stay healthy, support your local businesses, and we'll see you Monday. We'll be